Hi, my name is Maggie Mayhem, and I'm here to make some smut for Queer Porn TV today. I'm queer because I'm a sex hacker. I'm queer because it's like I was given this default software for my hardware to use, and when I started to explore my sexuality, I realized that that software wasn't working the way I needed it to be. It wasn't giving me what I wanted, so I started hacking a lot of the ideas I'd gotten about sex, and what I kind of discovered is that I'm really queer about just about everything. I love gender fucking myself. I like other gender fuckers. I like to break down sexual concepts. I like my sex to be really engaging with ideas about power. It's a place for me to play it out and understand it. So why I'm queer is it's long and short. It's a lot of the nuances of just getting into the nitty gritty of what I really want and fuck what anyone has ever told me I should want. A lot of aspects of my sexuality are theatrical. As soon as there's at least one other person, there's an audience that I like to connect with. And I've done a lot of different kinds of performances throughout my life. I've done work as a musician, as a stage actor, as a comedian, as a poet, and a lot of times it doesn't feel very different from sex because I'm trying to take my audience on a journey with me. I want to take them where I want to go, and it involves such hyper concentration on what they're telling you and what they're not telling you, what they're saying with their body. I think that during sex, the left side of our brain that's really good at articulating things concretely and clearly kind of goes away, but other parts of our body start speaking louder, and it's so necessary to listen to that. So it is very performative to me, but I always have a reciprocal relationship when I'm performing. It's always energizing me too. So yeah, I'm an exhibitionist, but I'm also listening to everything that everyone is saying when I'm engaging with them, and I really like listening to bodies. I think, yeah, a lot of times people say or dismiss porn performers as people who just want attention. And we have things to say. Of course we want your attention. The mainstream dialogue is indicating that these types of sexual activities aren't okay, that enjoying your body this way is not okay, that there's a set of rules that no one ever tells you about sex, that you're just kind of left to figure out on your own, and you figure those rules out when you run into shame, either in yourself or from someone else. And I happen to be kinky, and I happen to be performative, and I do want your attention because I want you to listen to what I have to say. I don't think that's a negative quality. There's a lot of people who have incredible things that we need to sit down and listen to because their voices aren't being heard. There's plenty of kinky people that are very quiet and are very shy and are not performative at all. In fact, I think most people tend to be a little bit more private about their sex lives, and they're doing wonderful, exciting, crazy things in their bedrooms, and you'll never hear about it, and it's their secret, and it's something that just fuels them and helps them realize their own vision for their life, just to enjoy. The vision for my life is to teach the world something new about sex, to put something in the world that's never been here before. That's why I'm here, and yeah, I love the attention for it. So I have a background of both frontline social welfare work, and I'm also a kinky sexual person who does porn. And are these two related? They've always been. When I was working alongside people who were just blowing my mind every day, essentially going to work and feeling like rocks were being broken in my head. And when you sit there and you watch social constructs that you've been holding dear your whole life, just basically holding them as the truth about the way the world works, and you're watching those break in front of your eyes every day at work, you start to wonder what else might be fragile. The first time, the porn performer doesn't have to be this mythological other. It's actually someone that people get to interact with. And if you come in with these stereotypes and these ideas that everyone doing porn is just, really fucked up, or fucked up on drugs, and they aren't able to make clear decisions, you used to be able to go through life and never have to confront the fact that that's not the case for a lot of porn performers, that a lot of people really love what they do and they're really healthy, and doing porn is part of how they stay healthy. And now you get the chance to see that. We're speaking out, we're getting on blogs, we're getting on Twitter, we're getting on Tumblr, we're telling our stories, and now that discourse has entered the mainstream, and I think it's threatening for some people to see how happy and healthy porn performers are when they start to talk. Maggie is the name that I go by my day-to-day life. It's the name I've been going by my entire life, so Maggie Mayhem isn't really all that different. There is a persona to an extent. Maggie Mayhem is always fearless in public, whereas I often am, I'm terrified by mingling. And a lot of people, I think, have a hard time grappling with the idea that someone who can get up in front of a room full of people, a big room, and actually just start fucking and, dirty sex, dirty fucking, could actually be really, really shy in person, and that's me. I'm really into exploring notions of power, because I don't always understand it, and because it's always changing, and I think it's one of the most erotic things for me in the world to believe that you have everything under control, everything, you understand your domain, everything makes sense, and then someone comes in and they just turn that on its head and they just fuck it all up and it can be gone in an instant. I'm really into fisting. I am really into the body. I used to feel really, really shamed and dirty for how much I was so into watching small orifices accommodate big things like hands or giant dildos or giant cocks or bottles or whatever is around that you think you can fit. And I loved watching that on porn. It made me feel so much more comfortable with my body. It made me feel so much more comfortable to look and see what it could do, and that it wasn't a lot of people say, oh, that's a loose vagina. Any vagina that can take a fist is loose, it's used out, it's not the years, it's the mileage. And I'm like, no way! That's an athletic pussy. That's a gymnastic pussy. That's, we go out and we watch sporting events, and those are people who are doing things that most bodies can't do, and we love it. We watch dance, we watch ballet, we watch all these people who have mastered the skill of their body, and I just think it's so amazing. I think it's so hot, and for me, fisting is that, double penetration is that. That's someone who just has, an idea of what they want, and they have taught their body how to get what they want, and that inspires me to go out and take the time to do the work I need to go do to get what I want. So I really like that. I like bondage and restraint. I like when the restraints get broken. I broke a spreader bar once, and it was fantastic. It synced up perfectly with an orgasm, and I felt like King Kong or something, like, haha, my sexual fury cannot be contained by your mere stainless steel bonds and leather. So that's really, really fun. Public sex is really hot. Being able to make sex toys out of everything around me. When I'm a woman having sex with another woman, I like the creativity that it inspired for me, and there's a lot of creativity that goes on in het sex, certainly. But when I first started having het sex, I was kind of like, this is how you do it, tab A, slot B, go from there. And when I started having queer sex, or where we were engaging with body parts that, we had different names for, it inspired so much creativity, and having as many dicks as you want. My orgasms have changed so much from when I first started fucking. Like, the kind and style of orgasm I used to have versus the way I can come now is amazing. Like, when I set my mind to it, I can make myself come pretty much anywhere. I think porn was the biggest thing that made me feel infinitely more comfortable with my body, with bodies in general. It was like, for so long I'd still been holding on to something that I didn't need to hold on to, and getting in front of the camera was the first time I really put that away, and it was amazing what it did for me when I put that away.